Cool.
So, welcome everyone. My name is Jeremiah Reed. I'm the author of Mental Wealth. And in honor of mental awareness this month in May, I wanted to take the time and address how to find rest and peace in the midst of the hustle and bustle, the grind of life, pursuing your goals, chasing your dreams. All of these things take up a lot of time and could add a lot of mental stress. So, I brought in a very special guest. He's a close friend of mine, a brother. Been knowing him ever since we were younger. And I don't know anyone that works harder than this guy named Raymond Davis. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we're going to dig deep into the topic.
What's up, y'all? My name is Ray Davis. Like Jay said, we've been friends for over probably 10 or 12 years. So we definitely did a bunch of different stuff together, a bunch of different avenues, tried a bunch of different stuff. So I'm excited to just kind of let you guys in on how I kind of stay rounded and grounded through, all the many endeavors that I always kind of got going on.
Definitely. So, Ray, everyone who doesn't know you, you're a great barber. You've been gifted the skill of cutting hair and design and art, and you've been doing that ever since you were a young kid. I have seen you work 12, 14, 16-hour days, going without sleep, even sacrificing some of your meals. Just kind of walk me through what type of mental strain does that bring if you continue to do this day in and day out?
Man, it can get super overwhelming. But what I like to do, and kind of what's always got me through it, is kind of just meditation. You know what I mean, and reflection on what I did throughout the day, and
Okay,
how I could be more efficient. You know what I mean, even though my time may be tight. So truly, I just like to meditate, and like so, even though I may not always get rest, any time that I get to just relax, or even a split second, if it may be going to the restroom, I like to just try to stop, recognize the moment I'm in, and just regroup. You know what I mean, and figure out which direction I need to go to be able to continue to move forward.
gotcha. So, with the meditation as a way to kind of free your mind and give you some relief, is there any tips you would give on people who don't meditate or don't know anything about meditation?
Yeah. The biggest thing to me, I always think, is that it's often hard to get inside your like truly get inside your own thoughts and kind of have conversations with yourself to figure out, because I mean, we like to think that we're all right all the time. You know what I mean? At least I do. But when you can just kind of get inside your own thoughts and really take yourself outside of situations and see the situation as a whole and see the bigger picture, I think that's the biggest part of meditation for me, or like when I'm trying to get to a point that I can, just like what we talking about, like just continue to move on and continue to move forward and not really be stagnant or take steps back. So the biggest thing to me is really just to try to quiet your own mind, or like your own self, and step outside of yourself and look at everything holistically, you know what I mean, or at the broader picture of things, you know what I mean. So in doing that, like me personally, I like to go like somewhere quiet, whether it's like, like I said, like if I'm using the restroom or when I first wake up. I just like it to be, somewhere kind of quiet where I can just kind of stop and just kind of think and realize, the moment, and be just grateful for being able to be here in those moments.
Gotcha. Now, I know, like, for me personally, writing a book, launching a business, other side hustles, I feel like sometimes I need somebody to tell me, hey, Jeremiah, slow down for a second, get some rest. Do you have anybody in your life that kind of serves as that support or accountability to, like, hey, Ray, I know you can be Superman, but I need for you to, take it easy for a little while?
Yeah, man, my family, you, my twin sister, my girlfriend, like everybody, always tells me I need to kind of slow down or like think about it. But I don't know. I'm a type of guy that I kind of like going full speed, so I don't always take heed. to it, but it's cool to hear it, to kind of know like, hey yo, you are running 1,000 miles an hour right now. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Have you ever had an experience where you were running at 1,000 miles an hour and then finally it caught up to you and you crashed? And what did you learn from that situation?
Yeah, I have, man. So when I first moved to Indy, I was working hard trying to establish myself, trying to establish my business as far as barbering went, and I would work like 14 hours a day in the barber shop, then turn around and go do house calls or whatever else. And like I was actually, so at the time I'm just working real hard, trying to like, save money and just make money as much as I can. I was actually driving your car, and I wrecked it. I had wrecked the red car, and then like it was just I was just tired, man. Like just trying to do everything all the time. So that was just one of those moments when I was like, okay, Ray, yo, sometimes you gotta like, yo, I could do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I'm the type of guy that don't really want to put nothing off for tomorrow too much. But it was just like one of those moments like, all right, well now it's costing you money to run. You know what I mean? Like a freaking bandit. So you need to figure this out and slow down, and not always try to make a run for the, you know what I mean, run for the fence all the time. So like that was like, a tragic incident. Cause like I was on the highway, I kind of like fell asleep a little bit, went into the median, like I just crashed. I was just fell asleep. But after that, it was just like one of those. Okay, well, hey, make it make sense, man. Like you ain't got to do all of that. If you're gonna stay up and do it all day, we'll make them come to you. Or, you know what I mean? Just don't
Yeah,
put yourself in crazy predicament.
definitely, definitely. That was a real life story. I remember that night. I could have sworn I had a dream about it when you did it. It was pretty crazy. But I'm glad to hear that you was safe in spite of that. And so I really want to take the time now and kind of pivot the conversation to allow people to understand what is hustling. I think hustling has a negative kind of connotation. People associate that with drug dealing or crime, but at the core, what does true hustling mean to you?
And it just really means to me just going after your goals. Like if you got an idea or a goal or like just something that you want to reach, you got to hustle to go get it. So it means like just like not being stagnant, not like waiting around, like really like putting your feet to the ground and getting to it, like literally. So I don't know. Hustling always had a great connotation to me because it was just like I don't know, like coming up where I'm from, you know what I mean, like when I would be cutting grass and just doing all these little things to make little odds and ends, like my uncles or my aunties or my grandma's like, man, right here, he a hard worker, man. He a little hustler. So you know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
just always looked at it in a more positive light.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to agree. I know like you can't hustle forever. Like you got to be able to be strategic and plan it out. So you might have a season in your life where you're putting in, 10, 12, 14-hour days. And true mental wealth for me is okay, that's one part of your season. But in the next part of your life, you need to be more financially free so you don't have to work as hard. I believe work will never stop. I don't believe in true retirement, like you just gonna kick your feet up and never have nothing to do for the rest of your life. But it's gonna be seasons in your life where you don't have to work as hard as you did in the previous season because you put the work in, you hustled, you got it done. So
Hey,
for
yeah,
some,
just to that point though, like I said, when I first came to Indy, I was working those crazy hours, but then I was able to eventually move my clientele to a great spot to now where I only work. I start work late. I work at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon to like get later a lot of times, but I don't even start work till 12. So I mean, I was able to build my clientele to a point that I was able to dictate the time that I wanted to work, even though it may still be, you know, extended hours or whatever, I was still able to like extend the day. So when I do work late, I can get that extra amount of sleep I need and kind of start work a little bit later in the day. So
yeah,
just the work that I put in before, that's what allowed me to be able to do that.
and kind of going into that story. So he's from Gary, Indiana, the region part of Indiana. He moved to Indianapolis. Very few clients. I can't remember the exact number you started with and where you are today. But if you just kind of want to share that story and how much hard work went into that and where you found time to truly rest and recharge mentally, that'd be great.
So yeah, when I first got to Indy, man, I had a few. Yeah, I probably had a core, probably like 10 or 15 clients when I first moved to Indy. So now I have like 300 clients. You know what I mean? With a core of like probably I see about 100 of them on the monthly, at least 100 or so of them on like the bi-weekly basis. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I average about 10 people, 10 clients or so a day. I work 7 days a week. You know what I mean? Yeah, about 100 or so bi-weekly. I yeah, well over that actually. But yeah, so like I have like a clientele database of like probably 300 and some people now. That like are returning customers. But yeah, that took a lot of work, a lot of long nights, a lot of early mornings. I was able to rest, and like I'm the kind of guy that I just like to talk to my friends, or you know what I mean, like whenever I get a chance to just kind of like kick it with you, if we sit back, if we go have drinks, or we just playing cornhole in the yard, like that's the kind of rest like that I like. You know what I mean? Because even when I go to bed late, I still wake up in probably like 3 to 4 hours or 5 hours. So I would kind of rock off with like, probably 5, 6 hours of sleep max on a
Mm.
daily. But just the recharge part, man, of being able to kind of let your head down and not really think about, all the other stuff you got going on, or like how many people gonna call me and say, "Hey Ray, I need to get in right now, Ray, 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 Ray." You know what I mean? And to just be able to actually sit back and breathe a little. So the recharge is like, I don't know, kind of stay true to yourself and think about, or not think about, or just some me time. I don't know if I'm putting it in the right perspective, but my me time always comes in a fashion of like being around good friends and good family, and just being able to talk and like release whatever else I got going on in my head, or stuff like that. So just letting my head down for real.
Okay. No, I like that. So I know this wasn't planned when you agreed to be on here, but I saw that you're a great person to talk about this subject, and then now you're on vacation. I know you went out to the cabins. Just walk me through the importance of taking a vacation, whether it's physically or mentally in your mind, just getting away, and what that does for you and your craft.
It keeps you sharp and it keeps you fresh. Being able to walk away and just stop and think for a minute. So the importance of that is almost unparalleled, man. Like when you can, because I mean, you gain clarity in it when you stop, and I mean, you can learn from someone else. You can see something you may not have seen, because it's like when you're in the car, right, and you're driving, and you're going 100 miles an hour. Every car on the left and the right of you, like fume, 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 like they just going past you really fast. But when you stop, you can kind of see what's going on. You know what I mean? Everything not moving so fast. So the important, I mean, it's so important to take like a vacation or just some time off to yourself to kind of just think and you know really like breathe. Like I can't express that enough, or really can I? I don't know if I want to get it right, because I'm trying to enjoy my vacation and get what I mean, some
Yeah.
breathing in myself. So it's been really good, and it just kind of allows you to refocus and regain like a energy. You know what I mean? It's like filling it all back up so you can go spend it all again. So
Yeah.
I think it's
Cool.
super important. Plus you get to like see some of the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? You kind of can. You like, yo, I worked this hard. Now I'm able to do this. Because I'm the type of like where I'm from. All I wanted to ever do is work and work and accumulate, but I wasn't really able to vacation or take a step back to actually enjoy the fruits of my labor. So when you can do that, you can like it kind of recharge you. Like, okay, that's why I'm doing this, and I'm ready to do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's really good. We had a question that came in, and feel free, anyone in the audience, if you have a question, use the chat feature, ask us a question, we'll make sure we answer it. But this question stated, I understand the ritual moments of rest, but does either of you have a day of rest weekly? If not, how do you decide when it's time? Ray, I'll answer it, then you can think about your answer. But for me, I believe in God. So the day of rest is an important day. Now, I don't 100% follow that all the time. I need to do better of setting a day aside to actually rest. Similar to Ray, my mind keeps running day in and day out. I'm always thinking, I'm always working. But I know it's a lot of, how can I put this? it's a real benefit to take that day of rest because of the recharge, because it rejuvenates you, because it allows you to sharpen your craft. There's so many good things that come out of that rest. So usually for me, I try to do it on a Saturday, a Sunday, usually my day of rest. But really, it's just getting that cadence together. And I haven't figured it out. So I'll be transparent with you. I don't have a consistent day of rest. I pretty much work until my body shut down or until my wife tell me, Jeremiah, go to sleep. And then that's when I do it. So pray for me that I get that day of rest in the future. But right now, I really don't have it. What about you, Ray? You on mute, brother. You on mute.
All right. But personally, yeah, I try to take Mondays, you know what I mean, that first day at the beginning of the week to kind of recharge. I mean, it's never really a full day of rest, but it's definitely like a day that more relaxed and like my schedule is like what more open and I'm able to do kind of just different stuff. So I think it's really important though, because I mean it's points where I don't get that Monday and I just work 7 days a week, or you know what I mean. Next thing you know, I don't work 21 days straight, and I'm like, yo, like I need a break. Like I'm sick of this. Like and that like you can get to that point when you don't get that day of rest, or if you don't try to squeeze it in at some point. Like it's been times like I love my craft and I love what I do, but I just like, yo, man, I really want to walk away from this. Like you know what I mean. I'm tired. Like I'm tired of standing right here all day. You know what I mean. I'm tired of like just all of this. So but when I get that recharge, it just definitely I can love it again. You know, my eyes are different. You know what I mean? Like, because with what I do, like I have to be able to see like certain things. You know what I mean? To be able to do it as well as I do. So, but I can tell the difference in my work when I'm not getting that day of rest, or you know what I mean, that time to rest and recoup. Like you know what I mean? Like of course I'm a professional, so like the work is good, but me personally, I see a difference in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? To whereas when I go back, I'm probably gonna like do some of the best stuff I ever did, and like I done did in a minute. Like I haven't took a vacation since last summer, so like I'm gonna know when I get back, I'm gonna be like, yo, yeah, I'm ready. You know, and
Yeah, I gotta
it's gonna
book
be
my
super cool.
haircut. I gotta book my haircut. Fresh vacation cut when Ray get
You know
back.
what I
It's gonna be the
mean?
best of it. But nah, that's good that you brought that up. And I just want to bring some practicality to this too. So like when you think about rest and peace and mental wealth, I want you to remember just three things. Like make sure you get the proper sleep. Proper sleep is so good. Everybody's body is different. Ray might have trained his body to work on 5 or 6 hours of sleep, but a good solid start is to at least get a full 8 hours. If you can get 8 hours of sleep, that's a pretty good start for you. Another thing too, a part of that rest and kind of taking a break mentally. For me, I read a lot of books, so I'm able to escape mentally by reading. For other people, it might be art. For other people, it might be family time, playing cornhole. But figure out what do you do that can mentally take you to another place and rest your mind from thinking about the work that you got to do. So make sure you figure out what that is. For me, it's reading, but I encourage you to find out that task. And a third thing that is really important is just laughing, like joy, laughter. It's so important when you actually laugh and smile, that does something to you. Like it brings you true life. So whether that's playing with your kids, kicking it with the fam, or your best friend, whatever it is, make sure you find time to laugh. Um, I see my friend Q on here. I'm always telling him to smile. I'm like, bro, you got to smile. He always laughs when I tell him that, but it's so serious that it's okay, man, just to put a smile on your face. It does something good to you, uplifts your spirits, and that's a formal sense of rest that I truly believe in. Ray, do you have any like three key points you want to deliver or drop some jewels? You on mute, brother. You on mute.
Yeah. All
Yeah, there
right.
you
I keep forgetting that part.
go.
But one of the I don't have three key points, but the main thing that I want to tell everybody is to try to really prioritize meditation. Like it's done wonders for me and what I like moving on and being able to like accomplish different things. Like I came to a point because I've been a barber for like 14 years now, so I've been in the same profession for about 14 years, and it's just been key in me learning my purpose and knowing why I'm a barber, and you know what I mean, what I'm actually giving off into the world besides just, you know, good haircuts. And it shows me like, you know, the people that I need. I don't know, just in my meditation I learned like the people I need to work with, and then I just become thankful for those people and the ideas, and I just know, and I'm thankful for God and like just letting me breathe in the air and the sun. Like it's just like you're able to kind of just take everything in and become present with where you truly are. You know what I mean? So I just want to tell everybody to just try it. Like seriously, like even if it's like when you first try it just for 1 or 2 minutes and you just really try to, you know, because I think of meditation, honestly, I'm sorry if I'm kind of rambling or moving, bouncing around, but I think of meditation, like when I meditate, it's truly like my chance to talk to God. You know what I mean? So instead of, so I guess I don't know if I do it like that so I don't feel crazy, like I'm talking to myself, but you know what I mean? But it's like my chance to talk to God. So it's like prayer, but it's like so non-formal. It's like me and God, and he like my boy, like he Jay. But I can tell him like my like super innermost thought, and like I can speak about it, and like I don't know, and I can bounce. It's hard to explain, but try meditation, y'all. It's like it's kind of hard to explain, but I can just put things into the atmosphere, and when I meditate, I always feel like I get an answer or something comes back. You know what I mean? So I really enjoy it. It's changed my life. Um, I'm able to not. I don't get upset often. You know what I mean? I'm able to step back and think of where I landed in the situation and what I could have did to help, you know, that person or that situation. So yeah, I just want to say, try some meditation, even if it's for, you know, 5 minutes each day, or you know, you just try to do it for 5 minutes once a week. I think you'll definitely be grateful for it.
No, thanks for saying that, Ray. We had a question pop in. It said, "Do you have a certain time that you meditate, or when you feel most connected to God?"
In the morning, as soon as I wake up. Like as soon as I wake up, it's just like, yeah, he gave me another day, and sometimes like it happens when I like at night, because like after I've accomplished a day full of stuff, and I'm just like, wow, you know, I'm just so grateful and thankful to be able to have done this. You know what I mean? Like with the help of just God, and you know what I mean, and friends and stuff. I'm just like, even lately, like I've been able to accomplish so many things that I didn't even have any idea or, you know, thought that I would be even doing or accomplishing. So, you know, I'm just definitely connected to like, yo, this is a higher power, and I need to be able to, you know, just recognize that every chance I get. But for sure, every single time I wake up in the morning. But lately, it's been happening at night because I've been having some really full days, and I've been able to do some really cool stuff.
No, that's good. So I want to open up to the audience a little bit. If we, skipped over some things that you might want to share that you feel like could benefit someone else on this webinar today, as far as what do you do to kind of get that mental break, to get that rest in the midst of all the hard work that you've been doing. Feel free to share it. Feel free to ask any questions that you guys have using the chat function. We want to make this not just about us, but opening up the dialogue to share with you as well. So does anybody have anything they want to share?
I can share. So, in this hustler mindset, I always have a lot on my mind too. So, I actually carry a really small notebook that, well, there's two of them. There's one that I keep in my bag when I'm on the go, and there's one that I keep on my nightstand. And it's not quite meditation, but I do spend about 5 minutes right before I go to sleep, especially if it's like I had a great day, but there was still so much I felt like I could have done. I write it in the notebook. Like, it doesn't have to be a complete thought. It's just dumping whatever is in my brain out, because I don't sleep with my phone in my room. So some people could do this on their notepad on their phone, but I don't. But when I say it helps me to sleep, and I'm able to wake up, and when I look at my to-do list for the day or what's on my agenda, I can refer back to those notes sometimes, like, oh yeah, I did want to do that. So then I'm always on the go, but at least I'm accomplishing things even when I'm in a slow down state. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. thanks for sharing. The power of
Yeah,
like
that makes
journaling,
perfect sense.
yeah, and writing things down is another thing. I know I personally don't journal that much, but when I do, it's definitely freeing. So thanks for sharing that, Bianca.
Yeah, I
Anybody
love
else?
journaling. I'm sorry to cut that off,
No,
but
go ahead,
I
brother.
journal. I journal for a while, like a long while, and I think that's why I became or been able to kind of fast forward myself into this mode of meditation. But yeah, journaling is just powerful because again, you can like step back and reflect on where you were in those times. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of why I like that Facebook function, like the memories, and you can see old statuses and see what you was thinking or what you was doing. So like yeah, that's really powerful. And I don't know, you just definitely sparked something. I think I might get back to it, Bianca. That's a great idea.
Definitely. All right. Is there any other things before we close out today?
I want to share a practice that I recently started. A friend and I've been vegetarian for about a little over 3 years. And a friend of mine called me and she said, I just don't want to eat meat anymore. It don't feel good. I cook it for my family and I don't want it. And I was like, man, I've been feeling the same thing. Not that I eat meat, but I still eat eggs. And so it was the last thing I needed to remove from my diet to be completely vegan. But I love me some eggs, so I was just I knew
Shout
that it
out
was
to the
going to be
scrambled eggs with cheese.
straight up. Um, so when she said that, we started to talk about life and some other things. It's like, man, if I could do that, then this would be so much better. So we decided to do a 21-day vegan challenge. I believe we're on day 14. And also during this vegan challenge, we have added in um, prayer and journaling. So meditation at sunrise has been something I've been doing for a while. It was just something. I have to do it. So I understand everything you were saying, Ray. Meditation is completely a necessity. But the huge part for me and for her was adding in these words of affirmation. As wives and as mothers and business owners and as full-time employees and daughters and sisters, we feel like we're working for everybody else and making sure that everybody else is good. His clothes are clean, you know, she has everything she needs, her refrigerator is stocked, and you just taking care of everybody else, and you never stop and say how great of a job you're doing, and you never say thank you to yourself. And she and I probably work out together virtually at least 6 times a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I make it a part of my business that I tell people by the end of the workout, you need to tell yourself, thank you for taking this time for yourself. But the huge part I was trying to get to is just words of affirmation. Just waking up after we pray and then meditation and journaling, we say, I am beautiful. I am smart. I am kind. We start to speak the things into our lives as if they were so. And although I have meditated for years and I try to think positive, I never speak positivity into myself intentionally like that. And so us just strategically saying, I am a positive, productive citizen, and just being very strategic about what we're speaking. And day to day, that thing may change. So, tomorrow it could be, I am a successful, profitable business owner. You know what I mean? And every day it changes. So it's been huge to speak joy and peace into our homes and happiness into our life. So that was my tidbit. Affirmations is huge now.
No, I like that. Thanks for sharing, for real, Dominique. Me and my family, we actually did that today after our Bible study. I had everybody write down some affirmations and we taped it on our window downstairs. So powerful tool, great tool, just for mental stability within itself. Speaking highly and positive over your life does wonders.
I
Ray, you got
totally agree.
anything else you want to add, brother?
Nah, man, y'all y'all just brought back so many things that I've always kind of done that I was starting to become kind of step away from a little bit. And just with this time that I'm here and kind of this nature, I just want to say thank y'all for like reminding me that all those things are so powerful. You know what I mean? You know how you can kind of practice something for so long, so you kind of accompany so many other things inside of it, so you don't even realize that you may be doing that, and so it's not as intentional anymore. So I just want to say thank you, ladies, for reminding me that I can be even more intentional than I'm already being. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Seriously.
Sure. So if there's no more questions or
I actually have
comments,
another question, Jeremiah.
oh yeah, go for it. What's up, buddy?
Can you guys share how you decide what your next hustle will be? I believe I saw on social media you guys are getting into vending machines. So it's like, how do you determine what's the next move in the
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm very strong on my core values. So like anything that I do has to do with like uplifting people, connecting people, inspiring people, generating income to give me more options to do other things that I love. If anything checks those boxes, I'm almost down for any opportunity. And then it's also with the people I'm doing it with. So with the vending machines, that wasn't planned. Like literally, I call Ray, uh, another friend of ours, Q, called me like, "Hey, I got to deal with these vending machines. Do you guys want to be in on it?" I'm like, I never thought about owning a vending machine, but I had the money to make it happen, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Though that added a lot on my plate in the short run, I'm hoping in the long run though, it just be a great tool for me to teach my children basic business. Vending is very simple; it's not complex. So it was a hard work on the front end, but on the back end, it should be much easier. So I usually look at my core values to make a decision and who I'm doing business with. And pretty much if it checks the boxes for that, I'm almost willing to take on any business endeavor. But that's how I decide. What about you, Ray?
For me, it's kind of all about it's those things always too. But when I'm deciding on a new hustle, man, like my main avenue in which I work, or you know what I'm saying, I'm I just come across so much stuff, and you know what I mean. So I kind of go off energies and vibes, if that makes sense. Like, because I hear so much stuff and different opportunities to do so many things, but kind of when I feel, I don't know, when I feel like, all right, this one is right. You know what I mean, or this is something that makes sense. You know what I mean. I just go with my gut, if that makes sense. That's how when I know like it's time. You know what I mean. I haven't always made the best decisions on, you know, or made perfect decisions as far as business moves go. But I always like to move and just kind of follow my gut, because like I've had a million and one opportunities to do a million and one different things, and you can't do them all. You know what I mean? It's been some that I was like, wow, I wish I would have did that, and then it's just been some that I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I did that. So I like to go with the gut. I mean, I guess you kind of like just rely on your own moral compass at that point, and you know what I mean, and what you are willing to do or not do, and if it makes sense as far as like your time goes. So that's the main things that I look at. So I go with my gut, and I make sure that I got the time to be able to exert the proper amount to be successful. Like I don't ever make business decisions that are like extremely passive, and I really don't have a say, or I don't have the time when it's just like whatever going on over there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's always, do I have the time to help this venture be successful? So those two things. That's what I try to go with.
No, great answer, Ray. Great question, Bianca. Any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. The way I always end all my webinars is with a prayer. So I'm going to pray us out. If you don't pray, I completely understand. Feel free to tune out at this time. But we're going to close this out with a prayer. Dear Lord God, we just come to you today. Father, we want to thank you for your presence and for your ability that you have given us to be creators and to be doers. So, Lord, I just ask right now that you plant seeds in our mind and our heart to rest. to find that that moment of peace inside that we need to get when we're out there hustling and working hard each and every day. Lord, help us understand that through hard work, it means nothing if it doesn't bring you glory. So help us put the proper priorities in place as we go out to try to achieve our goals and reach the things that you called us to reach. Lord, I just want to thank each and every person for tuning in today, and may you work inside their lives and help them be productive and give them strength wherever they are weak. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank y'all. See you next week. We're going to be discussing surviving unemployment. All right. So
Cool.
take it easy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jay. Hey, can you start a new call with me, you, and Quarter? I got